Duterte supporters in The Hague, Netherlands held a motorcade calling on the International Criminal Court to send former President Rodrigo Duterte back to the Philippines. Here's the report.
Motorcycles and bicycles took off one by one, while hundreds of overseas Filipino supporters of former President Rodrigo Duterte marched from the International Criminal Court to Scheveningen prison in The Hague, Netherlands. They also stopped by the Philippine Embassy before continuing their demonstration. This marked the first time they organized a motorcade demanding Duterte's return to the Philippines. Initially planned for the former president's birthday on March 28, the event was postponed to a later date.
Naiinip na rin kami kasi kumbaga hindi naman dapat Kasi unang-una tayo bilang Pilipino, tayo na may hustisya sa ating bansang sinilangan. Dapat kung may pagkakasala, doon siya litigation, hindi dito sa international.
But ICC Assistant to Counsel Attorney Cristina Conti said Duterte's camp has yet to request interim release. Even after Duterte's 80th birthday, Filipinos continued gathering outside the detention center, sharing food and showing solidarity. However, no family members were seen visiting him at the facility on Saturday. To keep morale high, Senator Robin Padilla engaged with supporters, taking photos and joining in songs.
Mukhang hindi na ito politika lamang, ito ay mga Pilipinong naninindigan na ang Pilipinas, soberanyang bansa, malaya, independyente at dapat hindi nakikialam ang mga dayuhan.
Former presidential spokesperson Attorney Harry Roque also joined the crowd in dancing, proudly announcing himself as a bona fide asylum seeker after the Netherlands reportedly approved his application. This despite Malacanang's calls for him to return to the Philippines and face charges. Roque even joked that Duterte's detention may have somehow benefited the Netherlands.
Kinakailangan meron ng bayad si President Duterte dahil siya ang pinaka number 1 tourist attraction ngayon dito sa Netherlands.
Meanwhile, Roque appealed to Qatari authorities following the arrest of several Filipinos who held a pro-Duterte demonstration without a permit on the former president's birthday.
Please show maximum tolerance to Filipinos who only wanted to show their love to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. They cannot accept the fact that he is now here at The Hague, held as prisoner by Westerners.
Duterte's camp said they cannot stop Filipinos from expressing their support and expect the gatherings to continue daily until their calls for his return are heard.
For more updates on that, we have Mon Gualvez and Jovi Francisco who joins us live from The Hague, Netherlands. Magandang umaga sa inyong dalawa. Nasaan kayo ngayon? Unahin muna natin ang ating bagong dating. Si Mon muna, nasaan ka ngayon?
Hi Gretchen, good morning from The Hague, Netherlands. I am still here, or I am now here in The Hague, Netherlands. It's already 2 a.m. This time. Medyo malamig
Kakarating mo lang?
Yeah, I arrived here this weekend.
So meron na tayong mga nasubaybayan. Si Jovi, ikaw naman, mukhang nandiyan ka pa rin, ano?
Nakatawa ako kasi biniktima niyo si Mon Alam niyo naman na umaga. Kakaset lang nung na para maging...
Daytime savings.
Yung daytime savings. So parang iba yung oras natin from Manila and here. So talagang pinalabas yung ako kasi di ba sabi ko sa'yo, unang araw ko rin sa labas ng report. Pero ngayon, sa kwarto na.
Ganyan din ako ng mga unang gabi ko.
Unang araw.
Ganyan din ako, parang Simon, mga ilang gabi kung tiniis yung lamig na yan. Tagang di ko na kaya. Okay, let's get down to business. What were the highlights over the weekend? What happened? We saw Harry Roque standing in front of a crowd. Was there a protest rally again, or was that just a gathering? Who would like to take that? Jovi?
Hayaan natin si Mondo. Si Mondo nag-cover ng buong weekend Sige, mamaya meron akong input tungkol dun sa kay VP
Harry.
Head mo.
Okay, sige. Well, Gretchen, ang dami pa rin supporters na dumating dito sa The Hague, Netherlands. Although it's a weekend, so they don't have to go to work. That's why most overseas Filipinos went in from other countries here in Europe. No, talaga namang kahit tapos na yung 80th birthday ni dating Pangulong Duterte, they still make time to do some, actually it's not a protest, no? they make programs, pero mostly parang nakikiselebrate sila sa birthday ng dating presidente. Although, nandun pa rin yung appeal nila that President Duterte na maibalik sana sa Pilipinas at doon litisin dahil nga they still believe that we have sovereignty at this issue at meron naman tayong justice system, so why other countries bakit kailangan sila manghimasok eventually dito sa isyung ito, no? So nagkaroon nga kanina during with the report that we have showed, there's a first time na nagkaroon ng motorcade, umikot yan dito sa some parts of The Hague from the International Criminal Court office up to the prison or detention facility. Pumunta rin sila sa may tapat ng embassy and even sa International Gay Statue. So inikutan nila yan. It's the first time they really made an effort to ask permit for that para masagawa ito. And during this weekend, actually yesterday, talagang ang dami pa rin, no? Ang dami pa rin supporters sa labas nitong detention facility. Ito yung mga humabol at hindi nakasama last Friday and Saturday. So same, may mga prayers, may mga prayer activities, merong mga parang mga at least a simple and short program. At yun nga, most of them are really chanting, especially when kumbaga mga significant people or somehow yung mga personalities went in at nakikita nila, mas nagkakaroon sila ng talagang para na-excite, no, yung mga overseas Filipinos here, Gretch.
Okay, we saw a video gone viral with a Dutch police officer saying that yung permit nyo lang ay para sa picnic, no? So effectively, yung gathering na ito ay walang permit, tama ba? At gaano katagal nagstay yung mga Pilipino? Yung videos ba na nakikita natin, that was over the weekend? Because we also saw that on Friday during the birthday of the former president, that day itself.
Actually, yung park outside the detention facility, doon nagsasagawa ng mga picnic, ng mga programs. Yung sinisita ng Dutch police, yung kasi yung mga lumalampas doon sa park, they are very strict here na dapat yung area mo doon ka lang kasi they don't want na makaabala sa mga nagba-bicycle, mga motorcycle riders. So lumalampas kasi yung dami ng mga Pilipino, lumalampas sila doon sa park, kaya nasisita sila eventually dito sa area, pero hindi naman talaga sila pinagbawalan na magsagawa ng mga programs during this weekend, Gretchen.
So it was generally peaceful, your assessment of the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Yes, it was generally peaceful. Talagang naisagawa pa rin naman ng mga protesters or ng mga supporters yung kanilang demonstration, yung kanilang love and support to the former president. Gretchen.
Okay, Jovi, with regard to the Vice President, there was a soundbite that I'm curious about where she said that former President Duterte requested the followers not to comment on the case itself before the ICC. Bakit kaya ganon? Ano? Bakit kaya ganon yung naging panawagan ni dating Pangulo?
Understandable yun kasi 'di ba before mag-speech si VP nung Friday late afternoon, parang ayun na yung time. Gretch, I'm sure you're aware dun sa bashing na ginagawa ng mga followers and supporters doon sa mismong nitty-gritty nung kaso, at saka maski yung mga yung mga officials ng ICC nasasali doon sa mga online bashing. So kumbaga okay lang daw, sabi ng dating Pangulo, na magalit sila, i-express yung galit nila, pero tanggalin yung sa usapin yung actual yung actual legal process, at saka yung yung kaso mismo ay wag i-discuss. So pinaalala yon, yun ang isa sa mga unang-unang sinabi ni Vice President doon sa kanyang medyo mahabang speech. You know what's interesting, Gretchen? Just moments after that speech, ambush interview, ang unang ginawa ni Vice President ay talakayin yung yung kaso mismo. And isa pa yan sa naging viral, at saka isa pa yan sa pinag-uusapan ngayon diyan sa Manila, at mga lawyers ay nagcha-chime in because pinintas na yung kung matibay ba yung mga ebidensyang sinumite, pinintasan niya yung number 30,000, ano yung mga names ng mga yon. Tapos sinasabi rin niya paano daw ma-establish na ganun karami namatay pero mga 43 lang naman talaga included sa case. So mga ganyang hirit ni inibisit. Tapos ang pinakadulo kasi noon, which is the clincher of it all, nung sinabi niya, yung word na bobo, doon pertaining to kung sino yung mga nagpo-push nung narrative daw na, or yung hindi man narrative tawag doon, kundi kung ano yung, kung bakit merong pattern, pero parang ba't meron nakakonte. Okay, so, alam mo, nagkataon nung gabing yon, parating pa lang si Mon noon, dumating yung, nagpatawag yung kabilang side, yung anti-Duterte groups ng press ko. Nagkataon nandun si Attorney Conti, Chrissy Conti. So, tinanong namin siya at sinabi ni Attorney Chrissy Conti na hindi nga tungkol sa number yan, at saka parang kahit isa lang nakamatayan niya o pagpatay yan, pwede nang makakita ng pattern from that case alone. So tsaka sinabi rin niya na kung talagang ganyan paninindigan ni Vice President, dapat daw sabihin niya yan mismo sa ICC. So ganon. Ganyan nung naging takbo ng mga usapin dito, Gretchen.
Actually, ito nga, nagbabasa nga ako, along those lines, kasi may parang article na lumabas that there was a Rwandan politician, Jean Paul Akayesu, who was found to have participated in the killing of 3 civilians, pero nakasuhan siya, convicted siya of crimes against humanity. So, kumbaga, yun talaga yung parang pamamaraan. Hindi, wala siya doon I mean, you can't have all the victims before the court. So, yun naman ang sinabi ni Attorney Cristina Conti dito sa nabasa ko.
Yes. Kasi merong si Cristina Conti, inamos siya interview namin doon sa event nung Bayan Europa, Pero kinabukasan naglabas siya ng yung siyempre yung sagot niya doon is yung parang for soundbite purposes. Naglabas siya kinabukasan nung mas mahaba na may legal explanation at kasama nga dyan yung nabasa mo, Gretchen. So, alam natin na marami pang ibang lawyers ang nag-chime in dyan, lalo yung mga nakabase dyan sa Manila. Mahabang usapin to pati dyan. Sabi na nga nung tatay, wag na raw muna pag-usapan yung legal process Pero
actually, naisip ko yun, tinatanong ko yun dahil naisip ko or nag-wonder ako kung nakikinig ba yung ICC dun sa mga posts online because another argument by the Duterte supporters when I was there, when I was covering, was that ang pinatay naman niya yung mga kriminal, yung mga addict, yung mga nangre-rape to keep everyone safe. So in effect, it is also like confirming from a third-person point of view that these actually happened. Pero ito yung paninindigan namin na mas safe yung community namin dahil may pagpatay or siya yung naging cause ng mga pagpatay. Yun ang kaya iniisip ko, nakikinig ba yung ICC at maaari ba yung magkaroon ng epekto sa kaso?
Hindi, Mon, hindi ko alam kung nakukuha rin ni Moto. And I'm sure, Gretchen, nung nandito ka, cover mo yung ICC. Parang ang ICC, walang pakialam sa nangyayari sa external. Di ba? Meron silang ganun parang clinical way of doing it na parang, sige, ang daming noise, pero, wala hindi pa namin papakinggan yan kasi unang-una nasa pre-trial tayo tapos sa September 23 pa naman magsisimula, nasa submissions pa lang naman tayo na deadline na very soon, April 4 and 11 So hindi wala pa sa ganun, pero yun na nga, tama rin naman may wisdom din naman yung wish nung dating Pangulo na huwag niyo masyadong ungkatin, huwag niyo masyadong pintasan as early as now yung buong proseso because it will not it's not good for ito sa laban na gustong gawin ng depensa.
Mon, when it comes to the gathering outside, si Attorney Harry Roque, is he determined to be there almost every day? Any updates on his asylum request? There was in that report, the reporter said that there was a rumor of his application being approved. Did I get that correct?
Well, actually, he confirmed that the Netherlands has already accepted his application for asylum and the process will take 1 to 1.5 years. So, ang sinasabi ni Attorney Roque dito, kumbaga during that time, hindi raw siya mauobliga or makukumpel na makabalik sa Pilipinas kung sakasakaling magsasagawa siya ng mga ganitong klaseng pagsali at pagsasalita against the administration. Kaya nga, he is very proud saying some, kumbaga, mga puna sa government, no? At sinasabi nga niya na okay lang ako magsalita ng ganito kasi meron na akong isa na akong asylum seeker, nakakuha na ako dito sa Netherlands. So during this time, ang sinasabi din naman ni Attorney Roque, pinaprocess naman na nila yung pag-i-stayan niya dito rin sa Netherlands after niyang magtago for a while. Yun din ang words niya exactly, no? So he will be expected to be seen here in The Hague again, together with the supporters during the coming days. Yan ang isa sa mga kinonfirm niya over the weekend, Gretchen.
How about Attorney Cristina Conti? Jovi, natanong mo ba gaano katagal sila dyan? I mean, interesting verbal jabs over the weekend, but also this is gonna be a long process. Natanong niyo ba yun?
Ang alam ko, medyo magtatagal pa siya dito. Pero hindi lang dahil dito sa ICC kasi alam ko, itong week na to, may mga days ako last week na hindi ko siya nakausap ng face-to-face, kundi via parang quotes lang for via messaging. Kasi lumilipat sila ng like punta ng Brussels kasi merong lecture series. So may mga ganon. Hindi lang because of this. Nagkataon, okay lang na merong nangyayaring malaki dito sa ICC. And at meron tayo, at least dalawa silang sources natin, di ba? Siya at si Attorney Andres, na at least yung magpapalanse nung because sabi nga nila may coverage tayo lagi ng nung Duterte side, and meron din tayo nung kabilang side.
Alright, okay. Tatanong natin ng mga concerns pa natin sa ating susunod na guest. But in the meantime, maraming salamat for joining us. Even if it's past midnight over there, we have Mon Gualvez and Jovi Francisco reporting to us live from The Hague in Netherlands.